This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN, filming live from Coachella. Hey y'all, it's me, Buscella, and I just got back from Coachella, and welcome back to Hot or Hot. And today I'll be reviewing episode 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 9. Our 8 superstars were challenged to present 3 looks in the Paintball. Monochromatica, a shade of their choice. Drag Imitates Art, looks inspired by famous works of art. And Paintball Eleganza, hand-painted realness, in which the queens were just given like sheets of white fabric and let loose with cans of paint. And girls, since we've got 24 looks to cover, we're just gonna jump right into it. And in the order they hit the runway, we have Angie 2.0, who has chosen a shade of intergalactic green to present in her monochromatic look. And she's giving us a real alien superstar kind of vibe in this with that really poofed up hair. Kind of giving us Hunger Games meets Queen of the Space Federation. And even though the hair color isn't green matching the rest of the outfit, I think it is my favorite part of the outfit. I just love that beautiful updo with all the rhinestones in it, really adding to that intergalactic flair. I do wish she had done a little bit more in terms of adding body or shape to the top part of the look, but I love what she's doing with the bustle and how it trains really long behind her. This look is definitely hot. And her Imitates Art look is inspired by Mondrian art, which, as the judges called out a little bit, she did kind of just take directly from the original style of this artist and turn it into a dress, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I can understand the frustration there where they were looking for something more inspired by it, because this is quite literal. Stylistically though, I do love the shape and body that she's got going on here. Her proportions are correct, and I love those red accents in the dress matching the heels down at the bottom. It's giving me, yes, I curate at the art gallery, but also, like, I've got a pie ready for you in the oven. This look is also hot. And finally, for her Paintball Eleganza look. This one, I will admit, I struggled with a little bit when I saw it on the runway, but only because I was confused where the hand-painted elements were coming into play here. And she says there are 2 distinct colors here, supposedly like a yellow and chartreuse, but I'm kind of colorblind, and I think the lighting on the runway is also messing with me here. So this really, honestly, to me, just all looks like one shade of some kind of green. Plus, I'm not so sure that doing solid shades of color were necessarily what the queens were really asked to do here. That said, the silhouette she created is extremely impressive, and the judges were right. It is a beautiful gown with a gorgeous silhouette. She looks beautiful in this. This is a pretty look, so I'm gonna give it a hot. And next up, the original diva, Shannel, who is giving us hot pink in her monochromatic look, of course. And this is a really beautiful look from her, I'll be honest. I love those dramatic shoulder details, kind of giving that 80s camp and flair that she also had notes of back from her first runway. I also love the structure in the bodice of this gown. The train is also perfect on this. The way the dress is hitting the gown is just right. The way the dress is hitting the gown. The way the dress is hitting the floor is just right. This look is hot. And in what was, I think, her most impressive look of the night, her Drag Imitates Art look is inspired by the famous piece Under the Wave off Kanagawa, where the base of this gown is very much that deep blue ocean color that looks so gorgeous, with the wave caps tapping, waving, squirting, splattering, dare I say, across part of the gown as they go down the bottom. This is a really gorgeous, I think, interpretation of the original art piece, and it is much more giving me that inspired by rather than direct copy of. I think this look is really pretty. She looks hot. But for her hand-painted look, I think she did not say her prayers before she started working on this or something, because this is a little bit of a mess. The one redeeming quality this look has, though, I think is the use of color, which in the spirit of a painted ball, I think was really important to nail, because all those ombres of blues and greens and yellows and oranges are actually quite striking. But mama, the way she has all this different like random hardware hanging off and like bodice piece courses, just very obviously showing those structures, and then the torso looks really long, and the way she has cut that corset, it feels very visually distracting. This look is gonna be a right. Next up, baby, you can't read the ball. It's Roxxxy Andrews, who's chosen red for filth. For her monochromatic look, this wasn't really a hit for me tonight, mostly because I don't know really what the hell is going on in that center section of this gown. It seems she did try to achieve some sort of nude illusion beneath the red strips of fabric and silver hardware, but that color is slightly off compared to her arms and face and legs. But aside from that, I also just don't love the random assortment of straps and pieces in the center, just because there's no focal point and your eye keeps trying to follow follow all these different lines, and it's just messy. It's not for me. This is gonna be a and for Drag Imitates Art, she has chosen, for me personally, one of my favorite pieces of famous art. This is The Persistence of Memory by Salvador Dali, the famous painting with the melting clocks. And because I love Dali's art so much, this was a little tough for me because, yes, I do love that giant melting clock bodice centerpiece. It's a great focal piece of the gown. And the fascinator is fun too. There's a lot of camp and whimsy here that I can see Roxxxy wanted to showcase on this runway. However, I don't love that the rest of the look is basically just the art printed onto a piece of fabric. But I still had fun with this look, which I think is the most important thing to do on the runway, so I'm gonna leave it with a warming up. But for her hand-painted look, this was where Roxxxy really shone brightly on the runway for me tonight. It is kind of like a trench coat on the outside that pops open to reveal a really gorgeous romper on the inside. And what totally sold this look for me was the reverse ombre effect that she matched perfectly on the coat and then romper part of this look, accented with that gorgeous red across the bodice, and then also in her makeup where she did like the red rhinestone eyebrows. The attention to detail was so immaculate there, and it's such a gag that she not only made but painted this. Roxxxy killed it. This look is hot. You know what's hot? Summer. But you know what's even hotter? Browsing the internet safely and securely with Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of today's video. Surfshark VPN uses private encryption tunnels to keep your internet activities safe from the prying eyes of sneaky snoopers on public Wi-Fi and even your internet service provider. Which means whether you're logging into your bank or sticking your yacht out for the Rizzler, you can sleep a little easier at night knowing your data is secured, encrypted, and anonymous thanks to Surfshark. Plus, Surfshark can help access content locked behind geo-restrictions on streaming platforms, like RuPaul's Drag Race, for example, which isn't available to people in the US on this streaming platform. But with Surfshark VPN, I can connect to a virtual private network in, let's say, Argentina, and get immediate access to all of the online content available in that country. And best of all, you can use Surfshark on all of your devices with unlimited device login. And there's no risk in just trying it out because Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. And this just in, we've got a summer Surfshark deal alert! When you head to the link in the description of my video and use code Bussy at checkout, you'll get 4 additional months of Surfshark for free. That's right, just click my link and use code Bussy at checkout and you'll get 4 additional months of Surfshark for free. Thanks Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. And next up, I know it's early to do this, but I think we're gonna go ahead and have to dub Gottmik the fashion queen of the season because oh my God, did she serve in this ball. The first look, this monochromatic purple look that is all Versace head to toe, is breathtaking. I love the like futuristic kind of neo-noir vibes that I'm getting from this. It's like Matrix but purple. And this is one of my favorite looks tonight because of the way that she's played with the different tones and sheens of purple and also textures throughout the look. Like with the feathers, the chrome corset, the kind of sequiny, shiny headpiece. I mean, it's just really beautiful and totally hot. And the thing is, Gottmik definitely has that thing going on where she could wear a potato sack and probably serve it the house down boots on the runway, but you also can't deny that the looks, the entire package of the artistry that Gottmik presents is untouchable. And for her Drag Imitates Art look, girl, this is the look that broke Drag Race, that's gonna break the internet. This look is inspired by The Scream by Edward Munch, you know. There's nothing like that I could possibly say to express how stunned I am by this. It looks like it weighs 1,000 pounds. It is solid beating, recreating this art piece in a gown that is shaped and silhouetted so perfectly that it just makes you want to scream. Gottmik got fashion. This look is hot. And yes, I gushed over that previous look because it is such an impressive piece of work. Like, I don't even want to know how many hours of labor went into crafting that. But what impressed me more tonight, actually, was her Paintball Eleganza gown, because she made this there in the time constraints given, whatever those were, out of a strip of white fabric and a dream. I thought it was so smart on brand of her to just really play with the white, black, and red only. And I think keeping her color palette so refined in this is what made it so striking. But also, there's so many smart design details in this gown, like the asymmetricality of having one glove do like an ombre red and the other one being white on the side that she has that beautiful gown slit with the lace coming down her thigh. Plus the hair. Every detail, every single detail, perfect. This look is hot. And next up, we've got North, South, East, and Nina West. For her monochromatic look. did this. She said, I'm gonna give you Alice in Wonderland Pink Mushroom Fantasy, but I'm also gonna hide my face with a little printer paper. For the monochromatic looks, I actually thought this was one of the strongest. She has such a powerful and creative silhouette here with that giant mushroom bell cap hat, and I love the way it pairs and matches with the bustle and the different layers of ruffles coming down, finally hitting the floor. And the absolute stupidity of her hitting the end of the runway and having a reveal that folds up that little piece of printer paper to reveal her face is ridiculous. Honestly, I kind of ate it up. This was hot. But her next two looks, mama, jail. So this next one, the Drag Imitates Art runway, is inspired by the Tom of Finland piece, which you'll see if you go into like gay bars, specifically ones that might be geared towards audiences who wear a lot of leather. And as the judges kindly said, I agree, I love the inspiration here, like the gay and queer history in this look, but the look is not looking for me. It's not looking north, south, east, or Nina West. I don't like the shape of the gown. I hate the like 2 inches of leg before it hits the boots. I think it is such a bizarre way to chop your body. And then the strange piece of like white stretch fabric underneath the like dress coat, not for me. And I was trying to think of some creative, constructive criticism to improve this look, but I genuinely think it just needs a complete scrap and for her to go back to the drawing board on serving this art, because it's a rock. And her final look, Hand Painted Eleganza. Girl, girl, I gotta give a little round of applause for how bad this is. I, in my wildest imagination, don't think I could dream up something this ugly. It's kind of giving me grandma's moo, but like she let the grandkids who are between the ages of 1 and 3 paint and decorate it. And coming from Nina West, who is such a creative, campy, and fun person, I just don't know how in the hell we ended up here. And this look is so bad, I'm just actually gonna have a little conspiracy that it was intentionally bad, because I can't imagine how somebody would do this genuinely. It's a rock. And next up, Miss Vanjie, who's chosen green for her monochromatic color and has not just chosen green, but is also doing a Michelle Visage illusion, which is funny because she's juxtaposing this character with her least favorite color. And the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent of that is pretty funny. We have to give Vanjie so much credit here for poking fun at Michelle in, honestly, a fun and fashionable way. And the first thing I thought about this look was, oh my god, the hair is amazing. Vanjie looks excellent in a black to gray ombre. Like, she's serving. Like, you take one look at this girl in the club and you're like, oh, she's bad. She's bad. She throws it back. I do live for this. This is hot. But for her Drag Imitates Art look, she did Starry Night, and I'm kind of 50-50 here because I'm not really getting Starry Night from this at all. I'm getting Jellyfish Under the Sea Little Mermaid Eleganza. But my favorite thing about this look also is the hair, the detail, the structure, the little pieces in there, like with the moon, actually giving a nod to the art, I think were really great. But yeah, this asymmetrically cut, fluffy tulle coat thing is not reminiscent of this painting really at all for me, except vaguely in the color. The look itself, I think she looks good. I would give this a hot. But for the category, no, it's not Starry Night. It's a rock. And for her final hand-painted look, also kind of 50-50 here, because I don't hate it. I just feel it's a little underdone. The cut is pretty enough. Like, I could definitely see a gown like this as something Vanjie regularly wears and is giving that party girl, but make it I'm at the pageant fantasy. It really is just the painting on the gown and then the final details of how the train actually fits. Because you can see as she's walking the runway, she's tripping, she's holding the piece up. She really is just struggle bussing all the way down. And I do like that she was painting an homage to the Puerto Rican flag. It's just I wanted more. And so overall, I am gonna give this like a rock. And next up, Tiara. Bitch, it is Plastique Tiara. Just like Gottmik, absolutely ate this ball up, devoured, no crumbs, whipped back for seconds. And for her first look, Monochromatica, she isn't headed to red, representing the Vietnam flag. And this is just an absolutely breathtaking piece of fashion hitting the runway. All the carefully placed cutouts, the beautiful construction in the skirt of this gown. Like, look at how when the camera shows it flip up and under, you can see those beautiful curves that are then like sewn to, I mean, she cooked and we ate it. This look is hot. And Plastique's next look is paying homage to Yayoi Kusama, who's a Japanese contemporary artist who in all of her work employs these use of polka dots in different ways with striking bold colors to create pieces pieces that are just so visually entertaining. And this is one of the most unique, I think, interpretations of the art tonight, because in the original piece, you can see the artist sitting in the middle of all of her dots. And Plastique is doing that too, but like in this gown where she is the art, but also the artist. And she has perfectly captured the intention of that original piece, while I think also doing something that is not a direct copy and is very much inspired by it. This look is so hot. And her final hand painted look is just as gag worthy as the first two, which is so effing impressive how she was able to create this there, that amazing coat gown train piece that opens up to reveal that ombre gown underneath. I mean, it's just so beautiful the way the textures and tones and shading of all of this give her so much beautiful shape and color throughout the look. This look is so hot. And finally, Helotus, it's Jorgeous, who comes out on the runway in all green. And the camp and silliness of this look is what I love the most. Particularly, I think the leap in the hair is a striking piece of wigonometry. But I think the issue for me in this look is that she just didn't do enough. And I want to be clear, I'm not saying she doesn't look good. I think she looks absolutely gorgeous here. It's just I wanted a little bit more. I want to see leaves all up and down this look. I mean, get crazy, get messy, do something wild. So leave this with a warming up. But her Imitates Art look was particularly special tonight, and actually, I think one of the best in this category. She's doing The Seated Woman by Picasso, and she's done such a great job of capturing the abstract use of shape and color throughout this look in the different pieces of the garment. And one of the things about Jorgeous's fashion is I do feel it often stays in this very performance-ready arena, but this look steps out of that zone and into a new, truly ready for the runway, like I feel this would be on a fashion week type of runway presentation. Plus the fact that it's paying homage to such a beautiful piece of work in an obvious way is truly special, and this look is certainly hot. And her final look, Paintball Eleganza, was okay for me. I do love the silhouette of the pants and those puff sleeves in this look. Like, those are the elements that she actually created, and those are the ones I'm most impressed by. The stencil ended up turning out really good, and that blue color I think is really pretty. Where she really missed the mark here for me, and as the judges also called out, were those white undergarment pieces that are just kind of sitting there way too obviously. Like, it just reads as I didn't have time to finish my look. Since we really only have half a look here, I've got to give it a rod. And surprise, surprise, but the judges do end up giving the top two tonight to Plastique Tiara and Gottmik, who, y'all, there's literally was no competition on the stage for the sets of three looks these two queens presented. I mean, no one even came close to presenting the level of fashion, eleganza, and artistry that these two did. I mean, all three of their looks from both queens are some of the best looks I think we have ever seen on the runway ever. Period, point blank, boots. For real, on God, no cap, sticking my Gia out for the Rizzler. And so these two end up lip syncing for the win, and oof, this lip sync was not for me, personally. It was a very campy song, Jump in the Line by Harry Belafonte, and I feel that neither of these queens were able to set aside their perfect presentation of looks, gagatrondra, and fashion to really give the camp and silliness that this song deserved. And that's not to say that they both didn't try or do okay. It's just I feel this genre of music was neither of their preferences. Interestingly though, Gottmik had on this like white and black wig for the final look that was very reminiscent of Beetlejuice, which was interesting to me because this song is actually used in that movie. The conspiracies are conspiracizing, we'll just say that. And so this lip sync for me was very much a, well, somebody's gotta win type of thing. And I'm happy that Gottmik did, because ultimately I did prefer her runway package just a little bit more than Plastique's, but I think your preference is going to be totally dependent on the type of thing you like, and I just vibe a lot more with that gothy, punky area of fashion than I do the more pretty perfect one. And so Gottmik takes the win, which I was very happy with, and she ends up snipping Angeria, which I think was the most fair thing she could have done without really putting a target on her back, considering Angeria had just won last week. And finally, for hottest in each category, Monochromatica, I'm gonna give it to Plastique Tiara. Drag Imitates Art, gotta give it to Gottmik's The Scream. And Hand Painted Eleganza, I'm also gonna give it to Gottmik. I did also ask my patrons to vote on their hottest hots, and in each category they've chosen Plastique Tiara for Monochromatica, Gottmik for Drag Imitates Art, and Plastique Tiara for Hand Painted Eleganza. I also want to remind y'all it would really mean a lot if you could check out my Patreon at patreon.com/bussyqueen. My patrons truly do make my channel possible by supporting me every single month with a financial pledge. And in return, they get tons of exclusive benefits, like early access to my YouTube videos and access to exclusive content like reactions to every episode of RuPaul's Drag Race that I'm reviewing. And you can join by clicking the link in the description of my video. And I want to give an extra special thanks to today's video sponsor, Surfshark VPN, who I've trusted to keep my internet browsing activities safe, secure, encrypted, and anonymous for several years now. Don't forget to use my link below to get Surfshark today, and use code Bussy at checkout to get 4 additional months of Surfshark for free. And lastly, I want to give an extra special shout out to Ashley Brungard, Felicia, Laura, Matthew Burns, Topher, and Will and Tana, who are all supporting me at my Bussy Queen Collector tier over at patreon.com/BussyQueen. See you later. Love ya. Bye. Sometimes I really hate myself.